Okay, welcome guys. Today we're going to discuss group discussions.
Sorry mate.
It's all okay. Today we're going to discuss group discussions. We're going to look at it in detail a bit longer, as we'll see as the lesson progresses through. The objectives are up here. This is what we want to achieve for you guys to succeed at.
So we're doing it together in a partnership. The first part, my little pen's not working, but the quote that we're giving you today is "Sport and music unify people." That's a quote by Nelson Mandela. And just to start the lesson off, if you can think about it individually for about 20 seconds, and then turn to the partner next to you and just give your opinions of what you believe, if this is right or wrong, or if there's anything that you think suits the quote, and then we'll go into having a whole group discussion. So think about the quote, and then turn to the partner next to you.
Discuss away. Okay, so now, as you discussed with your partner, some brief ideas and opinions, now we're going to move into the whole group discussion and explain to everyone what you think Nelson Mandela means by saying that.
So who wants to start off with voicing their opinion?
So we'll sit down.
Yep.
And at the end we have to come to some sort of consensus about what we think the statement means.
So, who you want to go? Yeah?
So Lacey and I were discussing that we think, they do, they bring together people. It's like sport is usually sort of a team thing, and music, lots of people have their own specific genre, but we were also sort of saying that it can also divide people in ways as well.
What ways can it divide people?
Like, Manchester United against whoever other is some other team that plays that sport.
Yep.
People, it can also, Arsenal, like some people, it can almost, start wars in some respects.
Yeah, that's
true.
good.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
Different opinion? Anyone feels really strongly for it or really strongly
Who
against?
thinks sport unifies people?
Well, I agree with Bridget and Lacey that it can unify, but it can also divide. Like
Jacko,
it can be both.
Music as a performance, like when you're actually in a group of people, like I've been in banding, so it's high school band, moved to brass banding afterwards.
Yep.
Like you get a community together, and you can play music together, then you get completely drunk together. And then even when you're competing against each other, because there's competitions about it, you usually, like in high school, it was Blackburn as our rivals, Eltham High School.
Yep.
But even, it was rivals on the stage, but we always got together and laughed. So it was like,
That's
Right.
good. Tony over here had a point.
Sorry, I was going to say sport has certainly unified people. If you think in light of amateur sports like the Olympic Games, it's been used as a platform for a couple hundred years now to try and create a unified Western culture, and that's all celebrating amateur sports, and that would be the emphasis that pro sports divide people and amateur sports bring people together.
Yeah, good point. Yep.
There's also the idea that sport itself crosses boundaries with poverty. In India and stuff like that, little kids in the street will pick up a cricket bat. It's bringing kids together, it's giving them hope. They may actually be a sportsman in the future, don't know. But you see that all the
From a
time.
young age. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, Jacko?
We were actually talking about the dance metaphor that like unifies people a lot more than sport and music. Sort of the whole dance across all languages. It's all every culture dances. So that's sort of something that came up over here.
Yeah, you usually have music behind dance.
Yeah, good point. And dance is incorporated
diversifying, or whatever you want to call it, where even if they do have a blue, well, that's not splitting people up, it's still brought them to the same place. So it has, in a way, unifying anyway, so.
So do you find music unifies people more than sport?
6.5 dozen the other, I think. I think they're both events that more than one person usually goes to see, so that tells me that there's a unity there, that it's bringing people together, it's unifying people, they've all got the same cause, thought, intention, whether it be partying to get smashed or fall over, or whether it be go and kick the footy all day or play cricket in the stinking hot sun, there's always a crowd to watch it, so.
Different. Good point. About over here, anyone? Opinions over here?
I have a mixed opinion about sport being, well, having a sporting background myself. I think yes, it most certainly can unify people, because the example of the Olympic Games is a worldwide event which brings everyone together. But I was thinking in more of a local context and speaking from personal experience, rivalry just taking that bit of a step too far. Example from the weekend, a few of the B grade boys decided to have a pretty hard dig at each other on the weekend, and stuff can get pretty out of hand. So there's almost that, like, you understand you need respect for your opponent, but it can cross the line where we're really starting to get real personal, like where that whole banter thing sort of takes that step too far, and then there's definitely a divide between the two teams, and that sort of respect between the two clubs is sort of lost. And that's been going on for quite a while, I think.
So you're saying there's a negative side?
It can be, but like I guess there's some on one side and then some on the other. But I'm just talking like local. I'm sure there's plenty of sporting clubs that have friendly rivalries. I'm not sure.
I was in D-grade basketball because I was the best at basketball. And we got into a fight, like when we got older, we just got into a fight every single game. Yeah, it was just so much that it was getting so bad. So it's up there somewhere.
So you're saying on a more personal level, it's not?
I didn't like it.
Yeah.
Like it was a good group of people I was with until they just started getting angry at every single room they were in.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, is there anything that hasn't been spoken already? Any other thoughts that you, Jacko, again?
Yeah, did you guys hear about when Nelson Mandela died? Paris Hilton was like, oh no, because she thought Morgan Freeman was like Nelson Mandela. You guys hear about that?
Yeah.
So she's all like, oh no,
And actually,
I have a dream speech.
posting pictures of like Nelson Mandela and Morgan Freeman.
That's a valid point. Paris Hilton. It's a different discussion topic than what we want. Fair enough, Jacko, that you picked it up.
We can talk about that after class.
She's cool. Oh, cool. Let's not get sidetracked with. Let's focus on the topic at hand.
So if we can just, if you can, possibly the points that you just made then, if you can probably say one word, put them back and
We'll go round.
mine.
We'll go around. Everyone can give their own point, and if it's already up on the board, we won't put it up. We'll just put a tick next to it.
Can we all see
But
the
there's
board?
only one point, which is Tom's at the moment.
Yeah, well.
Katrina, what's your viewpoint on the quote?
I think music is more of a positive unification of, but yeah, my personal experience with sport.
Yep.
I'm a bit negative, I think.
Yeah, we're going the same.
Same?
Music's
Positive.
positive.
Yep.
Yeah, I think they're both positive. You see lots of professional sportsmen being very friendly on the field after the game.
I think they're both positive, but with music, and I'm trying to think of an example, but say if you were going to a John Butler concert and he was sitting up there and he often has quite strong political views and that kind of brings everyone together in a really positive way, whereas yesterday I was on the train in Melbourne and there were heaps of people going to Future Music Festival with very little clothes on, probably taking things they shouldn't have been and getting drunk, so I think that's probably more of a, in my view,
Fair enough.
unifying people maybe not a very positive way, perhaps.
Crazy or something.
Yeah. I actually agree with what Sarah said, and also with the fact that it has both positive and negative effects for both of them.
Yeah, I'd have to take a neutral stance. I think, like, if you were to place it on a continuum, it would be something.
Arguments for and against it.
I can see both sides positively because it helpful to build the relationship between multicultural people and also from different third world country to Europe countries.
Yep. No worries. We'll skip. But we're just a bit short on time, guys, so we just got to fly through this. So, yep, next one.
Yeah, so I'd say definitely that sport and music unify people, but maybe in positive and negative ways,
Yep.
but I feel like it can also divide people.
Very good, yep.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with Alice, but I would also want to suggest that perhaps sport and music aren't the only important forces that unify
Yeah,
people. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, the
Same
same sort of
set,
thing. Like
yep.
it's still unifying people, even if it's in a negative, like what we perceive as negative.
Yep.
People are still getting together, getting drunk. You know, so.
Win-win. It's always
So
fun
So
to get
another
drunk,
point
isn't
that you like more dominant is when you're bringing up music, that people are getting drunk with music events, and like even when you had like the
People do that
concerts and
sport
stuff.
as well, though.
They weren't getting
Really
drunk at
big
concerts,
drinking culture
literally
as well.
we rehearse and then we get
Don't you gotta drink and then listen to music?
So is there any other point that you guys want to
Yeah.
make?
Yeah.
Allows you to cross the poverty divide.
Yeah.
It's a really big thing.
Okay, so from what we
Hang
found,
on, hang on, hang on.
we're still going.
I was just, same thing,
Yeah.
just accessible across social
Right.
boundaries, cultural boundaries, that sort of
Yeah.
thing.
Quick
I think
things
it's
you
always
please.
in context as well.
Yeah.
I think it's all unifying, even if one club hates another club, you're all there for your love of the sport.
Oh, yep.
There's no.
Excuse me, Tony. Yeah, you can get on a train in any country, in any part of the world, and start a conversation with somebody about music or sport.
Yeah.
It's
Tony, yep, finish.
Music has no rivals, so therefore music is more unifying than sport.
Oh, there we go.
It's easy music.
Why doesn't music have rivals?
Well, in the same light as sport does.
Like
So-
technically,
No,
it
in
does.
country,
If-
yeah.
Yeah, if you're a,
no, no.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, so I think
Okay. Very good. Great. That's great. That's fantastic. That's what we want. That's what discussion creates.
We just don't want to get into
So
a
we just
debate.
exactly. So we're just going to move on now, just to try and summarise with you guys your thoughts. Yeah. So from what I've gathered so far is that generally most times sport and music is a positive influence upon people unifying. However, there is with other factors involved such as alcohol and clashes of personality, rivalries, negatives do come out of this.
So the points, you guys, that's what everyone has viewed their opinion on. And yeah, like Andrew said, sport and music do unite people. However, there are the negatives associated with it, and that sometimes they are more detrimental than unity if you're going to take it.
Okay.
Would you guys agree with that? Is that the
Agree with that?
consensus?
Yeah.
That's all right. Alright, so the lesson's going to progress now to what you guys did well there and to what you guys didn't do so good.
So, Andrew, do you want to come over here and just sort of, Princess, I'm not over here all the time. So we're just sort of going to rehash, it's very hard running at the back then, good learning curve for me when you actually run board. So as you were talking, I was basically trying to write down some of the positives of the discussion and the cons, hence Jacko was playing a specific purpose in that. He was trying to take you off track and trying to take you off focus.
Which he did. You all got into
So-
Paris Hilton.
Just quickly following through, some of the misconceptions, a lot of people feel that when you're doing groups and discussions, which can happen, that it has to be spontaneous and you can't plan for it. And they can have discussions like that, but they actually, you can come at, as we have found out by actually planning this discussion group, it does take a lot of organisation and a lot of research and work. So, and you can hopefully create a really good discussion group if you do some of this. So it can be part of a lesson, or it can be a whole lesson that you discuss something fairly, generally you find something that's a fairly interesting topic that people are going to get really involved in, and that can even form on through to debating and everything when people are feeling more confident because they're doing it within a group circle already, and then once they move they can see, oh yeah, I can say, have my say, and I feel people are listening to me. So during this we've got students, obviously everyone needs to be able to talk. There's also been willingness to listen, which was happening amazing here. I couldn't find, there was a lot of other faults. You guys were amazing. When you're doing the group discussion, I was really trying to rack my brain as something that you're doing. The openness to listening to everybody else, that's where the student needs to be. The intent behind it, and there needs to be a set of rules that you generally would perhaps bring about, say, when someone's talking, you don't talk over the top, but you can make that within a class, that you can do that. Next slide. So the teachers, very important not to dominate, and you can see whenever this was happening, it was very hard to not stand up and do direct teaching, that you actually become part of the discussion group as you're going through it. bringing the refocus back with these guys, I thought did really well with Jacko. Bring it back to topic, because it can be quite nerve-wracking to interrupt someone as they're talking. They bring it back and try and bring the refocus, because the whole point is having a consensus. And it's not as a teacher, you're not hoping that you're going to have a set outcome. It has to be the outcome of the group. So you feel like the group feels like, and students feel like that they're really that their input is important, and that's what comes out of the outcome of it. So very quick, I'm a very visual kinesthetic learner. I need straight points to remember. Oh, while we're doing this, did you want to hand out?
Yes,
So I've done a summary sheet again, because again mine is the whole visual situation. This is a summary of group discussion as well. So step 1, you have to have a purpose, which of having a group discussion, which we again purpose of actually showing how to run a group discussion. Research, we have to do background research, which we've already discussed.
So, did you all read chapter 7?
Hands up.
Yes.
honestly.
Nice.
Yes. Good stuff.
So that leads into step 3, learners need to be prepared as well, and that also was the 30-second at the beginning.
And that was shown when we gave you time to think on your own as well, reflect what you find the viewpoint on the quote to be.
Yep. And the plan then to be able to actually prepare it, which actually you were amazed how long it did take. You had to meet quite a few times to organise this. And the environment, that's hence why you were outside. We wanted to prepare the environment for a discussion circle prior to you guys coming in. So that was the reason for that. Running a discussion, make sure that they have an understanding of what's expected of them. Have a clear objective, be concise and relevant, so we don't fluff around everywhere that people aren't having an understanding of what's been talked about, and be reflective. How did we go? Was it thoughtful? Was everybody involved? During discussion, which all you guys did is amazing. You engaged, you encouraged, we kept moving on, we kept trying to move back on track, help students through that were having difficulties, and then closing the discussion, which is hence why we were trying to come to a consensus. And over to you, Jacko. That was, what's that, mate?
Good shine. Alrighty. Beautiful. So, discussions, fantastic stuff. Good things, diagnostic at the start. Good way to get a feel of where people are at. Which brings me to this part. So, as we sort of talked about this a little bit, so creating your own focus question or statement. So like for us, for you guys, to get that sort of creative, energy flowing, we had that Nelson Mandela quote, just a bit of something for you guys to go, oh yeah, something to work off. So likewise, in a classroom, say for example, we're teaching history, actually, because that's going to be my example. So for history, for example, you might want to know where kids are at, for example, at the start. What are they going to do? So I had a question, which will come up later, about historical moments. What's the most important? So if you just sort of, like kids might just walk in and say, what the hell's that for? So you sort of should get an understanding. Like maybe you could direct that more so into a question. So you might say, which historical event has shaped the world the most? You might, have a bit of opportunity to think about it. And then, because I'm, being very directive and I know which students are going to answer, Tony, what start us off, mate. What's the historical events, had the most effect?
It'll be the crucifixion of Jesus Christ.
Okay. Well, and then obviously other people will say, Sarah might have a different opinion, Tom might have, and obviously so, and that's sort of a bit of something to get us going. But it doesn't have to be a question, maybe it's a controversial statement as well, or just a statement in general. So I might say, the bombing of Hiroshima was the most, influential thing in history. And then, Sarah might be like, no, but it wasn't, it was totally this. So we're sort of getting that idea going. Yeah? People understand where I'm coming from here? Beautiful. So what I want us to do, real quickly, thanks Boxy. So we're going to just jump into 2 smallish groups for the moment. So if we can arrange, Riley, but if everyone else can sort of, you guys, and we've got 2, 4, 6, you guys are right. Can we just need to squeeze the table in between while we're at it?
We'll just split you in half so I lay you around.
No, that's fine, that's fine. So make yourselves into a circle around your table. Yes, you can have that. excited? Now folks, if you have a look up on whichever one's more accessible for you, I've just got a list of topics. I've just whipped these up after some very thoughtful planning, of course. So just a few ideas for you to get you. You don't have to use those, but feel free to. So what I want you to do for each, maybe do two as a group, work a bit of discussion, try and find like maybe a really good question, like so aim a question in a direction, like I did with the history. It's up there somewhere, history events shape the world. And maybe like a bit of a controversial statement about that topic as well. So two things to do. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Everyone cool with that?
So that's what we're doing?
Fantastic.
Yep.
Showtime.
Okay.
So I'm just.
So, who has a influential topic that we can choose to talk about, and we'll do a line-up of it.
Are we choosing one of those?
You can choose
You don't have to. If you want to use those, it's just there for some inspiration.
Yeah, everyone okay with whoever wants? Does everyone know about, have a view about which one?
Well, I know that World War I sort of changed the mindset about war. People's mind used to be all like the heroes go out to war, but in World War I we got to see
I feel strong.
how we got more information. We showed more somber
But is everyone passionate about the fourth one and wants to discuss it? Okay, so can we choose a topic that everyone is fairly passionate about?
You don't have to be passionate. Well, there was a cheeky, right? Just as a teacher,
Sorry.
you want to teach something you're not passionate about. So boom.
iPhone versus Android.
Don't talk to mum. You get into a habit.
Well guys, topic, yeah?
Maybe there's some social aspect.
This could be a good one. This is
You have an iPhone? I feel like I'm missing out.
Okay, Dwayne, what's yours?
I think it's
Okay, guys, we're going to go to more of a discussion. So, Katrina,
We sort of want to move it away.
friendly?
Which is more environmentally
I don't think so.
So that's a question.
I hate iTunes. iTunes is unintuitive. That's why I switched to an Android phone. 'Cause it's so easy.
So, why don't you like iPhone?
I didn't like the
They
interface.
both require
You had to connect and you only had a limited amount of connections to computers, and I thought computers actually didn't
free
work.
trade.
And you have it's not that hard to understand.
Sorry.
Come up after a few days.
It's more compact as well, the iPhone. It's lighter.
Not necessarily, it's not too bad.
So, does anyone else? Yeah, that's a good point.
Well, I think
But can we let someone else go? Yeah, Lee, we'll come back to you. Lee?
But it's big business.
No, you don't have either. Yeah, you just adapt to
What if I
iPhone.
told you
Yeah.
that the iPhone
it's
not an iPhone?
you know the Samsung Galaxy? That's an Android phone.
Okay. We'll just, we'll keep, letting other people have
operating system.
I think they
So like iPhone.
Which one's
All
iPhone?
those, like none of those ones.
Android?
And I've heard that that comes out
It's sort of pitched to the.
but that's probably from people who have
So you're saying, well,
We're talking about
You use whatever one you want, if that works for you, that's fine. You know, they both.
for a cheap business.
Well, I personally use an Android phone. I've never used an iPhone, so
are we all happy with what's been said, or are we
strictly on bias, I'm going to have to go with Android just because that's what I use.
Oh, 4.5, okay.
Yeah, it's on the Android or the iPhone.
You see them both. Android had
Dylan?
So guys, just while we're thinking about this,
An email from the iPhone rather than.
Yep, hang
it's fantastic. Right, so now remember what we're going to try and do out of this is create like a question to get the students going and a statement. So you could lead off if you were having a class. So these guys are doing coffee and tea. So like if you were doing a class on the benefits of coffee, benefits of tea, maybe find that question that might be get the guys going. Ooh, I think tea's going to be better. Oh, whatever So all there's a statement. And same for you guys with your iPhone and Android. So try and do that soonish, and then we maybe could do another topic as well.
So at the moment we've got majority
Focus on
iPhone.
environmental aspects.
Investigating what impacts that realistically has.
No, iPhone was the one that started this type of phone. Like, if it wasn't for the iPhone, we wouldn't have the Android.
It's always been
sustainable.
We're just discussing ideas, but it's turning into
But iPhone has
Oh, yeah, so with the question, what you have to think of. Yep, so how can you question students regarding an iPhone and Android?
Sustainability of the coffee trade.
Marketability is marketability.
Yep.
You know, that's not a
These have
question.
Is it really a fair
special
trade?
things and these are these
Nice.
Is it really free to who?
Yeah.
It's still free to loss.
It's very controversial.
Make it concise. There's a lot of information and sort of ramble a bit. Look at like boom.
Does
Focus that question.
marketability
Do
influence?
you believe iPhones are rubbish?
You might want to question.
Well, that's controversial. It's like that'll fly some people up.
Is coffee and tea
Yeah.
actually a fair trade? You happy with that question?
For what reason would you?
Well, that was a statement.
Your free trade really targets the coffee side of it. We want to go
Vice
to
versa.
So what's a statement that you reckon would match nearly this question?
Say that again, sorry.
So a statement that would reflect this question here. So with marketability and media, which one is promoted more, iPhone or Android? iPhone?
iPhone being the first one out of the market.
It doesn't have to be there. It can be any of them.
Yeah.
The bigger
Yeah. So iPhone relaunches. Does Android relaunch? Like I wouldn't have a clue. Yeah.
always the biggest new iPhone.
Isn't it tricky because iPhone is just one thing whereas Android
Maybe
is
like
brands that make Android, so
dropping out for a trade.
Android's
Why one reason?
like if Android, if it was just say iPhone versus Samsung, you would see it as say, but because Android covers a whole
Alrighty, folks. How are you guys? Have you got a vote?
We're just getting a statement now.
Well, let's. Don't mean to rush you, but let's come on.
So far you've just
That's a question.
try.
Do you want to do a statement? Yeah, no, you're right. Hang on, wait back in there.
So we've got
Before that, maybe Apple has better marketing.
Yeah. Is everyone happy with that?
Yeah.
Capabilities, was it? It's a hard topic.
We just want to like
Okay.
back into our bigger shape like we were in.
We need.
Does someone want to be a quick spokesperson over here?
Who wants to nominate us?
Very quickly. You have like 15 seconds. Well, you can.
Yeah.
Just give us 15 seconds. No, just stay that way. If you're comfortable there, that's fine. If you want to sit, that's cool.
Okay, guys, everyone listening?
Okay, folks. Alright, so just real quickly, Tommy, give us 15 seconds of maybe like a little bit of what you talked about and what your question in that was.
Well, we're talking about iPhones versus Androids, and we're talking about the benefits of both, but then it turned out into a debate, thanks to me and Dwayne. And then we started, so we got pushed along by Jacko, like I am now, and we came up with the question, does marketing influence your choice? The statement, Apple has greater marketing capabilities.
And just from this group, do you think those are a couple of questions, question and statement might fire up some people?
Yeah.
Fantastic, great job guys. Alright, who wants to run this side?
None of them feel comfortable with Jacko.
What? Come on.
Frightened.
No, you'll be right. No. You guys, I like this discussion. just give us the brief rundown.
We talked about tea versus coffee, so there are a number of different facets there. Is it ethical in terms of fair trade? Environmental impacts? It's addictive? Is it related to the social culture? The pressure that people are put under to, have a cup of coffee when they go out instead of a glass of water, etc. And a few other different issues. And eventually came up with the question, is fair trade really fair?
Thanks, Sarah.
Has that been another?
To the core of the earth.
The statement was something like, if coffee costs $3.80,
Yeah, there was a lot of...
it costs $3.80, so,
If coffee costs $3.80, that seems
No, that's not the question. The statement was, coffee costs $3.80, how can that be fair?
Hang on.
There you go.
So do you like what they've done there?
What do you mean in terms of fair though?
Well, let's not get too into
Fair
it.
trade.
Now, Sarah, that's a fantastic question, and I think that's something we could discuss at the end of the lesson. Now,
Alright.
just real quick now.
Like a minute and a half.
Okay, go for it.
Okay. So, just at the end, we're just going to finish off with a traffic light assessment. So, how comfortable you are with generating a focus